When we are talking about one of the safest investments in Nigeria, then you are talking about FGN savings bond, because I see FGN savings bond, FGN bonds, and treasury bills as the safest form of investment in Nigeria. Just like I've said in a separate video that some people think MMF is the safest investment. MMF combines commercial paper with other low-risk investments, and commercial paper is not a low-risk investment, it's a medium-risk investment. So that is what makes it not to be as safe as these ones that I've spoken about, which is FGN savings bond, FGN bonds, and treasury bills. And I want to believe that you know that there's a difference between FGN savings bond and FGN bonds, because some people come sending me mail, sending me a DM that they want to invest in FGN bonds. Okay, is it FGN savings bond or FGN bonds? They don't even know the difference. A major difference between the two is one is more or less like short term, another one is long term. So when it's FGN savings bond, for instance, we usually have the 2-year tenor and the 3-year tenor. So the one for this month is out, the one for the month of September, and it usually comes out every month. For FGN bonds, for instance, it's usually longer than 3 years. We have the one for 10 years, the one for 5 years, the one for 20 years. We have 20 years FGN bonds, and it pays interest twice in a year. That's for FGN bonds. For FGN savings bond, it pays interest 4 times in a year, and you can even see the dates, coupon payment, the dates that the interest is going to hit your account. So let's say, for instance, for this one that just came out today now, it usually comes out every month, just like I said, precisely if all things being equal, first Monday of every month. So the 2-year tenor is coming at the rate of 15.541%. The 3-year tenor is coming at the rate of 16.541%. And the opening date is today, and the closing date is September 5, which is Friday. But I usually advise that you do everything you need to do before the close of business on Thursday, which is September 4th. I hope you get my point. So let's say, for instance, you're now investing 1 million naira in the 3-year tenor, which means your 1 million naira per year will give you 165,410 naira. 165,410 naira. That 165,410 naira will now be divided into 4. It will be divided into 4. So all these dates, coupon date that is being stated here, which is December 10, March 10, 2026, June 10, 2026, then September 10, 2026, and it will be replicated in all subsequent years. That 165,000, which has been divided into 4, will now be paid on this very day that has been stated here. I hope you understand. So that is how FGN savings bond works. The minimum investment, FGN savings bond is majorly meant for retail investors. They want to encourage low-income earners to invest with the Nigerian government, so that they can also earn interest on their investments. And it can only be done in the multiples of 1,000. When I say multiples of 1,000 naira, it means that you cannot say 5,005 or 6,005. It is always in the multiples of 1,000. So aside from 5,000 naira that you can do, then the next is 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, and so on and so forth. Now the question is, who should invest in FGN savings bond? Who should invest in FGN savings bond? And then I'm going to talk about the platforms you can use, and the simplest in trying so many platforms. The one I'm currently using, personally, that I'm using now, I'm going to tell you at the end, because I've tested so many platforms truly, but I can tell you that this very one, because other ones requires you to fill a form, and that form at times could be overwhelming for somebody to want to invest in FGN savings bond. Am I going to fill out this form? But that very platform, you don't need to fill the form, and I think I collected my interest for one last month. So let's go ahead. Who should invest? A low risk taker. If you know you cannot take risk, please, it is not everybody that should invest in shares and stocks. It is not everybody that should invest in cryptocurrency. It is not everybody that should invest in commercial paper. Know your risk appetite and just stay in your own lane. Forget about this aspect of inflation. Fine, I understand. Inflation is currently around 21.88% according to the CBN website. So, but this is now coming at 16.5. But at least it is better than you just leaving your money idle in the bank or not investing at all. So please, If you know you are a low risk taker, I've seen people watch our courses on cifacademy.com.ng and they say, I would rather go for the low risk one because it is the safety of their capital, their hard-earned money that is paramount to them. So if you are in that category, don't let anybody sweet talk you, don't let anybody call you names. It is personal finance. Let it be personal to you. So invest in FGN savings bond if you know you are a low risk taker. You cannot see your money. You invested 1 million naira and you see your 1 million naira dwindling down to 700,000, dwindling down to 800,000 naira. That's one thing they will not tell you when you invest in shares and stocks, when you invest in some of these investments that are volatile. I hope you understand. You know I talk so much about stocks, shares and stocks, but we need to understand that we have different forms of investment and you only need to invest in the one that suits your personal objective, personal finance. I hope you get my point. So let's go ahead. Who should invest in FGN savings bond? Number 2, anyone who is looking for passive cash flow. One of the advantage of FGN savings bond is that it pays interest 4 times in a year. So that is cash flow. Every 3 months you are receiving something. And there's this particular course that has been done by Coach Benita. I will drop the link in the description below. It's a comprehensive course on FGN savings bond. Even the app that I told you that I use, the platform that I'm using, she made a video on it, how to register with them, how to fund your wallet, how to invest in FGN savings bond. So it will be in the description below. And one thing about the course is that it is absolutely free. So it is on our YouTube channel. So kindly go there. The link is in the description below. If you are looking for passive cash flow, then go for FGN savings bond. Number 3 is idle fund. If you have idle fund, you know you have maybe 3 million naira, rather instead of leaving it in your savings account, put it in FGN savings bond. I usually go through the financial statements of banks at times and I see how much people live in the bank idle. And that's why you even see, you may say, well, maybe it is companies that are living in there. Most companies usually do something, we call it cash and cash equivalent. Cash and cash equivalent, which is they have put it in liquid assets like FGN savings bond, in commercial paper. That's what they invest in. That's why you see that they don't just write cash in their financial statement. They write cash and cash equivalent. So most of this cash that is being stated in the financial statements of banks, which is their balance sheet, I want to believe that it is from retail bankers. So let's move ahead. If you have idle fund, don't leave it idle in your bank. Then number 4 is non-taxable investments. Any investor that is looking for non-taxable investment, because you see some people, they are so particular about every kobo. That's why you see them asking, okay, what is the withholding tax on it? What is the tax on it? So if you know you are looking for an investment that is, you are not going to be taxed in any form, then go for FGN savings bond. Go for FGN savings bond. Then the last but not the least, who should invest in FGN savings bond? Short-term fixed income investors. Anyone who is looking for short-term investment that is, you know that the income is fixed. In this case, for instance, it is 15.541% for 2-year tenor, then 16.541% for 3-year tenor. It is fixed. It's not going to change. That's the meaning. So if it is that kind of investment you are looking for, then go for FGN savings bond. So quickly, let's talk about the platforms you can use. So you can use Stanbic IBTC, you can use FBN Quest. FBN Quest is owned by First Bank of Nigeria. Stanbic IBTC is, you know Stanbic IBTC. So Afri Invest. Afri Invest, if you want to invest with them, don't go through the app. Go through the website. If you go through the app, you will not see it on the app. But if you go through their website, maybe you have a Google Chrome, go through the website, you will see it there. So you need to download the form, fill it, then you send it back to them, then send an email. Then Atlas Portfolio also offers FGN savings bond. Same process, you download the form and you email it back to them and you also pay the required fee. Then the last but not least is Chapel Hill Deham. Chapel Hill Deham is the company we call NIDF on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. When you hear NIDF, it is owned by Chapel Hill Deham. So it's an asset management company in Nigeria. They have an app called Invest Niger. So that is the app that I said I use personally, and to me it has been the simplest. So if you want to know how to register with them, how to fund your wallet, then the link in the description to Coach Benita's FGN Savings Bond Mastery course will be in the description below, and it is free, so kindly go through it. Thank you so much. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do by clicking on the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we release a new video. Till we meet in our next video, stay blessed.